Hey, what's going on? This is Martone, owner and trainer of Fuller Fitness. And I think this might be the second time this year I'm doing a video similar to this in terms of feeling as sick as I did last night and earlier this morning. And now all of a sudden I feel much better with high hopes that in the next couple of days I don't feel sick again and worse like I did last time earlier this year. So maybe it's a really good thing that I had intent on not lifting heavy anyway, at least what's heavy, not lifting anything that's heavy to me. So to do this chest workout, and I believe I'm going to do a full chest workout on this video, do this chest workout utilizing dumbbells this time compared to last time I recorded. I believe it was a barbell workout that I did. So at least with incline chest press and flat bench chest press. So and I think I did dumbbell flies on that video as well. Actually, I think that was last week. So yeah, to feel as bad as I did for a few hours, and now to feel decent enough to at least try to get this chest workout in and done. So starting with incline, which I usually do depending on how heavy I'm going. And actually almost regardless of how heavy I'm going, I might just make sure to do upper chest just to get more of a certain look compared to doing flat. So I should have 80 pounds on each dumbbell. So, and the goal is to try to do at least 12 reps. So I should be able to do that. But again, seeing that I got sick last night and just started feeling better a couple hours ago, let's find out. So yeah, it's interesting that I had and have intent on not lifting is basically half of what I usually do. So certain things, man, can be a blessing in disguise, maybe. So, and I elevated the bench. So it's still an incline chest press, but it's higher. So hitting my chest differently by being a little higher compared to usual. I don't remember what the angle degree is if anybody decides to ask me that question. I don't, this one doesn't show that, and I don't remember what the angles are. So 12 reps is the goal. For me, whether if you're familiar with watching my videos or not, usually just 2 sets. So just take a certain amount of time to chillax, especially seeing that I usually don't do that many reps. I usually feel tempted to do 15 or more, but I rarely do it. So 12 should be good. I think I always do 10 or 12. And there might be times where I do 15. I don't remember the last time I did 20. So, man, depending on, and I think I said in the last video when I was lifting heavier for less reps, but it's a good idea, and I wish I had known it when I was younger. It's very helpful to make certain changes. And you don't have to make changes often, in my opinion, but Um, make changes in terms of how many reps you do. Um, it just helps, especially in terms of going really low reps like I used to. Um, it just helps to do more reps. Even if it was 8 reps, but to do 12 or more reps for a certain period of time, um, even if it's just a week, like I plan on. All right, so this week, and then I'm kind of tempted to do it next week, but it's not likely that I'm gonna do it next week because I'm gonna feel extra motivated to, well, not extra motivated, but motivated to go back to lifting heavier. So I probably won't do 12 reps next week, but definitely to do it this week. Legs tomorrow, shoulders Thursday, arms on arms on Friday. So second and last set of this. So not only to do more reps, but I have this at a higher angle than usual. So which I would not have been able to do if I tried to go as heavy as I usually try to go or do go. So okay, so now I have to go over there and grab my flat bench. For those who may not have seen some of my videos, especially on chest day, I bought this bench to where I'm supposed to be able to do everything, decline, flat, and incline, but somehow the company messed up this bench and however many other benches to where I can't do flat. So I had to buy another bench. So I'm gonna move this one out the way and go grab that one. Not only to help with your gains by lifting lighter a few times a year, um, trying to do 10 or more reps. Shoot, I wonder if I should just do 20 here and be done with it. Not only to help with your gains, but when you're not lifting this heavy, and depending on how many sets you do, your workout should be, so if you're usually doing your workout and it takes a extended period of time, especially seeing that I think when I was growing up, there's a belief you had to do, be at the gym for either 60 minutes or 2 hours. And I don't know how or why anybody came up with that idea, because it's not about you being there as long as possible. It's about the stuff that you can actually get done. So, and if you can get that stuff done sooner, especially if you have other stuff to do, then, you know, especially for the people who have made excuses for decades about not having time. So, depending on what your strength is currently, then yeah, it might take a certain amount of time, but that also depends on the number of exercises and the number of sets. And I've said it in many videos and continue to say it because it's still true, unfortunately, that people are trying to do too many exercises in one workout and likely doing too many sets in one workout. So when it comes to not having time, that's nobody's fault but yours. For those who likely have that issue, and if you don't know better, if you're someone who doesn't know better, I understand, and hopefully you're able to watch videos like this to where you get certain information, and especially if you hear what I'm saying, see what I'm doing, believe in what I'm doing, and then try it. So especially for you to see a video like this and to see a video like this compared to other videos that I've done where I'm usually lifting heavier, so heavier and doing less reps. So and then you have to make sure not only for you to do this stuff, but you also have to make sure your eating is up to par. Eating a certain number of meals, drinking a certain amount of water per day, whether or not you take creatine to help you, depending on how much you're trying to accomplish. So, and it might seem like a lot, especially if you're just starting, but once you get it, understand it, believe in it. Alright, so it might be 15 or 20 reps here, and if I do 20, that's going to be it. That was 20. I don't remember the last time I did 20, but I did it. Alright, so I'm going to move this flat bench again, wrap the incline bench again, and do incline dumbbell flies. So, due to how sick I was feeling last night, I am fairly behind in my schedule. But thankfully, as far as this workout is concerned, I'm almost done. So, with the stuff that I planned on doing. So, once I do these flies, that is going to be it. I know last week when I recorded, I was going to do a second video, go to the gym that is included in rent for those of us that live in the area I live in, and do cable pulls. I don't remember why I didn't. I don't know if I forgot or didn't feel like doing it, but or if it was raining, whatever the heck was going on. But for today, I'm doing everything that I planned on doing and doing it faster than I would if I was going heavier. You know, take more time to recover between sets when you go really heavy compared to doing this. And, you know, using the same weight for every exercise. Not saying you have to do that, but I didn't change the weights. I'm thinking about changing the weights for these because these plates are so damn big and it's going to make it more. Actually, no, I think I can think of a way to do this without having to change the weight, or at least change the plates. All right. 12 reps, I think I can do that with this weight. If not, if I can do at least 8, which I think I can, so maybe 10. Let's see if I can do at least 10 with this weight. I don't remember if I've done 10 with this weight. Probably have, but for incline dumbbell flies with 80 pounds each. Man. Boom, 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 boom. No, for some reason 6 is all I got today. 6 is all I got today for that. I'm not sure why. Plus I'm feeling it around here for some reason. Between, mostly in my bicep I feel it. So just relax, see if I do one more, if not 2 more. I don't know if I didn't take enough time after the last flat bench set or whatever it is, but for some reason I only got 6 for that. But it might be because even though I can do heavier than 80-pound dumbbells for flies, that for me to be trying to do 12 reps, that I probably should have a 70-pound dumbbell or 65, 60, something like that for the sake of doing 12 reps. So, but 6 is not bad. 6 is not bad. Shoot, even if I did 6 or 8 reps for this workout, like I did 2 months ago, maybe 3, but even if I did 6 reps again, still being able to put a certain amount of weight on and get the workout in and done without it taking as long, especially for chest days. Chest days for me are one of the shortest, I think. Because unlike many people, I don't do 5 or more different exercises for chest, especially not in the same day. So right now I'm doing all this dumbbell stuff, but then next week I'll be doing barbell stuff. So But this is another thing people will hear me say on a regular basis, whether I'm in and we're in face to face or not. Um, if there are certain things that work for you, or at least seem to be working for you, do that. But if you're doing certain things and it doesn't seem to be working for you, but for some reason you keep doing it, that's stupid. That's for anybody. Um, to spend any amount of time doing stuff that don't work, um, even if you don't know what else to try, hopefully you can have some idea, be creative, or watching, I want to say watching the right videos, but just watching certain videos of people who hopefully know what the heck they're doing, compared to there are so many people, man, and it's been going on since the beginning of the time. So many people who don't know what the heck they're doing, don't know what they're talking about, but yet they put a dedicated effort towards making videos, commercials, and ads, and whatever the heck else. Back when people read newspapers, I don't know how many people are doing that anymore. For people to do and say certain things, not knowing what the heck they're talking about, knowing that they don't know what the heck they're talking about, but somehow certain people start talking. Due to certain people being very charismatic or whatever it is, certain people don't know what the heck they're doing and start talking, and somehow certain people believe them just because, so thankfully for me, I am willing and able to prove that stuff works, what I do works, and what the program that I do for myself is not it will not necessarily be the program I put together for you. So that's another thing about people watching someone else's video. Just because somebody is doing something that works for them don't mean you have to do it. Maybe try it just to see if it might actually work for you, and then sometimes you just watch certain videos just because, why not? Or, temptation towards trying something different. And then again, for those who are doing stuff and it's not working for them, and then as far as YouTube is concerned, you don't have to pay for it. So even though there's a possibility they would do what Netflix and I think many of the other programs or whatever are doing, to where you have to, I don't know how long, if YouTube is doing it. I don't really pay attention. I probably should, because I'm sick of the ads that I see. But if YouTube actually has it to where you can watch videos without seeing the ads, not that they're all bad, but you come here to watch a certain video, you're enjoying the video, and then all of a sudden a freaking ad comes on, and then depending on how long the video, multiple ads comes on. So yes, the creator is supposed to get paid from that, but for those of us that are here to watch videos and actually probably like what we're watching, or whatever we're watching is actually useful, but then all these fucking ads keep popping up, especially if the video is long and there's multiple ads that pop up, or you were really into whatever the person was doing or talking about, and all of a sudden an ad pops up. So yeah, make sure you drink a certain amount of water every day. Creatine, for those of us who understand what that is and how it's used. Hopefully you're not using too much of that, depending on what's considered too much, but something I've said in videos over the last 3 years, especially I think the last year and a half, whether it's creatine, protein, and whatever else people might be taking to try to get swole, try to get strong. If you are taking more than your body needs, which a lot of people probably are, especially young people, if you're taking a certain amount of creatine, especially on a regular basis, for protein, a certain amount of scoops of protein, powder, or even in some of the foods that you eat, and then a certain amount of creatine for those of us. I think many of us are taking the powder or using the powder in our drinks. Um, if you're taking more than your body needs for anything, you're just gonna it's gonna come out. So whether you're peeing who knows how many times, or doing a number two who knows how many times, if you're taking more than your body needs with whatever you're eating or drinking, it's coming out. So with your creatine, I don't think you need more than one scoop per day. Um, and then with your protein shakes, I don't think you need more than 2 scoops per day. And then hopefully you eat your meals. Get a certain amount of meals in with protein in it. And that's whether you're vegan like me or not. To only put, and I'm over 5 years vegan, so whether you're vegan or not, vegetarian or not, not having too many scoops of protein per day, having more than 2 scoops of protein per day is it can become a problem for your kidneys, I believe. Um, and then um, if your body can't handle that, your body doesn't need that, you're just gonna get sick or be in a bathroom more often because your body doesn't need it or can't handle it. So, don't go crazy with the creatine thinking that you're gonna get oh so big just because you have so many scoops of creatine in your drinks, so many scoops of protein in your protein shake, smoothie, whatever. Just because you're taking more of certain things don't mean you're gonna get stronger, faster, bigger, faster, faster. So because you're taking more of something don't mean you're gonna necessarily get more of whatever it is you're trying to get. And that goes into what I've said many times over the years, people thinking that they're supposed to do so many sets. So again, depending on how certain people feel about me, I usually only do 2 sets. And then even before, I don't think I did more than 3 sets. So in my younger days. Alright, so the range of motion was different that time to where I was able to get 10 compared to the first time doing 6. So when I did the first set, I was trying to open a door so wide and I felt it in my bicep going towards my armpit compared to once I shortened it. So the significance in that, I'll say it forever, do what works for you. And that might be regardless of the amount of weight that you use. Almost. I mean, because if I had 50 pounds or less, then I probably could go out wide. But I don't know if, as far as dumbbells are concerned, even if you have a really light weight, if you necessarily need to go out that far. Because again, if it works for you, go for it. But the stress that it'll do, unnecessary amount of stress, especially with dumbbells, is so different compared to the pec deck at the gym, or if anybody has it in their house. But the pec deck at the gym, it's different because it's not like you have all this weight on top of you. So when you're at the gym and you just can do that, then you can open out wide compared to using bands or dumbbells, especially dumbbells, and you go out wide like that. You start to feel that in ways that you don't need to, you shouldn't want to, in terms of not getting hurt, not tearing anything, and actually being able to get stronger, get bigger, whatever your goal is, and to do it without getting hurt. I've actually gotten hurt twice, maybe 3 times, shit, maybe 4 times, because I was trying to, with the other dumbbells that you guys might have seen me use if you watch my other videos, with the Olympic dumbbells and trying to have them big mofos on my leg and all the balance that's required for that. And there's certain exercises you can and possibly should do to strengthen your elbow. That I didn't know about, and my left elbow, man, needed so much work. So once you put on 140 or more pounds on the dumbbell, for me, especially if it's more than 140, and then using those other dumbbells other than the ones I'm using today, the ones I was using years before, the balance it takes to hold the dumbbell on my leg just so I can do incline chest press, flat bench chest press, flies, and you know, with all the balance that it took, and then once you get ready to press it, depending on what kind of day you're having or I was having, and man, my elbows, seeing that I didn't know about the exercises to strengthen my elbows, and you would think just doing this would be enough, but doing certain exercises to strengthen your elbow, strengthen your wrist, strengthen your grip, to where I've been doing much better for over a year. I think it's been over a year since I saw the exercises to strengthen your elbow to where I can do stuff without hearing or feeling the sounds that I felt in my left elbow specifically. And that's the interesting thing about, you know, I'm not it might not necessarily be age, because I'm going on 40 this year, depending on when certain people see this video, but I'll be 40 in 2025, or at least my 40th birthday is in July of 2025, depending on what the Lord has planned for me and whether or not I make it to that. So it might not necessarily be age in terms of learning a certain amount, but it's more likely if you've been around for a certain period of time that you've learned, hopefully learned, because I know I've met too many people that are older than me, and they're some of the dumbest people I've ever met. And I'm not saying that to pick on anybody, but it's like, how do you not know about certain, that's whether fitness or not. For certain people to be as dumb or as lazy or both as many people are, and then if they're selfish on top of that. So, you know, with this stuff, I had a little bit of that in me, which a lot of us probably do, in terms of, I think I did learn certain things, and as many young people do, especially guys probably, not believing the stuff that people were, believing the stuff that I was told, and for the most part, I don't think I was wrong with some of the stuff people were telling me, because again, it depends on what you're doing. So if you're in terms of muscle growth, you might do certain things in terms of, but my focus has usually been and mostly been on strength compared to size. And then Once I learned what you're supposed to do as far as size and try to do some of both, then you do certain things as far as reps. Um, Maybe sets, but specifically doing a certain number of reps as far as size, as far as strength. But then you got to make sure you're eating certain things and eating a certain amount, you know. And again, I'm vegan, so whatever you're doing, vegetarian, vegan, or the other stuff, eating certain things, eating a certain amount, drinking a certain amount of water, getting a certain amount of sleep, and depending on what you're doing, how you're doing, when you're doing, like for me, being 40, almost 40, and I've been trying to figure out for years how for the issues I'm having in terms of getting around faster when I'm going out to do stuff. So I finally gave in, and now that I know more about certain things, gave in and what word should I use? Bought a vehicle that allows me to get around faster. It's not a car, so it's not a car, but bought a vehicle that's going to get me around faster, much faster than I usually get around, have ever gotten around, as long as it works the way it's supposed to, or I'm planning for it to, and should, for me to be able to get around so much faster. So again, it might not necessarily be age, depending on when you learn certain things. So, hopefully, you see certain things and don't believe you should be able to do certain things just because somebody else did it, and that's whether you're related to the person, known the person for years, decades, want to be like them oh so bad. Do what works for you, make changes as needed, and then depending on your age, you are going to have to make changes as needed whether you want to or not. So whether you have to warm up longer, you have a spotter, especially if you're lifting whatever is heavy for you, especially I want to say especially for bench, especially if you have this useless rack mostly useless rack that I have, to where it was designed awfully compared to the next one I'm hoping to get within the next month or two, if not faster. But yeah, do what works for you. Make changes as needed. Hopefully asking questions to people who supposedly know what they're doing. So asking them questions. And then if you ask people certain questions and it becomes obvious they don't know what the hell they're talking about, then hopefully you can figure out who else is doing certain things and ask them questions, and then see if they actually know what the heck they're talking about and how they can help you get to where you're trying to get. And it's likely that's going to cost you, but we all have to invest. And right now, some of you are investing in watching this video, which I appreciate. And then investing in your workout and using certain equipment, and whether you invest in the equipment that you have working out at home like I do, or you invest in paying for a gym membership, whatever the gym membership is. $10 a month, I think, at Planet Fitness, unless that changed. I think it was $9 a month when it came out. 5 or 9, probably not 5. Might have been $9 a month when it started. It might be $10 a month now, maybe a little bit more depending on which program you have, or being able to, and this isn't to push anybody to the gym, because again, there's millions of people who go to the gym. There might be millions of people who work out at home, so this is just providing certain options. So again, working out at home, you know, so living where I live, I'm not supposed to have this heavy ass weight in here. So that's why I'm hoping to move somewhere to where I either work out in the garage or work out in the basement. Move somewhere to where either I work out in the garage or work out in the basement. And maybe if I want to work out outside, that's unlikely, but depending on what I'm doing outside. So again, do what works for you, whether that's working out at home, working out at the gym, working out in the basement, working out in the garage, working out with bands, working out with dumbbells, working out with barbells. I do all of them. I just don't post the workouts with the bands as much because for some reason, whenever I do it, people don't seem to watch it. So otherwise, I would do a few more things with bands because I actually like them. I've been using them for over 2 decades, if I remember correctly. So yeah, over 2 decades. So do what works for you. And then as far as this video, thank you for watching. For those who did, whatever amount of time that you watched it, give the video a like because not only does it help me, it'll help other people who are interested in stuff like this to hopefully see it compared to other stuff that they see that's not as helpful. Um, and then if you share the video, because that helps too, obviously, helps in terms of, again, certain people who might be interested in stuff like this but don't see it because they see other people's stuff that's not as helpful or useful or whatever. And then for you to subscribe so that instead of you looking around for certain things, for those that are interested in strength workouts, increasing their size, increasing their strength, using certain equipment, to see my videos. And then if you subscribe, instead of having to look around for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, hoping to find certain things, you subscribe to this. So you get notifications, direct notifications on new posts. I'm not sure if that works, including shorts, because I do more of those. Because more people watch the shorts more than the longer form, at least for me. So I usually do shorts, and I was doing that before that became a thing. So as far as YouTube, so yeah, give the video a like, share it with people who might be interested, even if you don't know if they're interested. You don't know, and that's the good thing about certain things, just doing it, trying it, and so as far as sharing this to help me out, but also to help people who are interested in stuff, strength training stuff and muscle growth stuff, and then subscribe so that you get a full direct notification. You know, depending on what I'm using and what I'm doing, I'm likely to record damn near every day. Depending on how I'm feeling, but likely damn near every day. And then it's likely to be from here, especially seeing that at the gym. I just told somebody this last night, depending on when certain people see this. So it's Tuesday now. So Monday night, I just told someone how the way I believe in things, as far as not going to the gym and recording stuff at the gym. Depending on which gym you go to, if I was to go to the gym that I was going to for almost 20 years, if I was to go to that gym, I probably could record stuff without being in a way. But even being there, depending on what time it was still somewhat of a challenge to try to record, especially with the tripod, because that takes up more room than people might think, in my opinion. So, for me to record here, record whatever I want, I'm not in anybody's way. No one's in my way except for maybe my dog sometimes, and usually the cat doesn't bother me anymore when I work out compared to the apartment I lived in before I came here. I try to record and my cat will make a cameo appearance, and somehow I'll be recording and all of a sudden I see her on my left somewhere. But yeah, do what works for you. If you work out at the gym and you love it or it's working for you, go for it. If you work out at home, which I've been doing for years and don't have a problem with, the only reason for some of us to go to the gym, work out at home but still have a gym membership. For those who do that, I didn't understand it before, but instead of having thousands of dollars in your equipment in your apartment, unless you want that and have the room for it and can afford it, instead of having that much stuff in your place wherever you might live, to go to the gym and so I'm thinking people go to the gym more on leg days so that they can use the leg press, the leg extension, hamstring curl, calf raise, and certain abs exercises. So, depending on what I choose to do, instead of going to the gym and paying a gym membership. I actually have a fitness center here. If I tried it, so again, instead of doing cable pulls in here, which isn't a big deal, go to the gym not far from where I live, not even 15 minutes from where I live, and do that there if I chose to do that for this workout. Next workout I probably will if I record that at all. So yeah, do what works for you. Hopefully you enjoy it, and then even if you don't enjoy it, thankfully I'm one of the people who do enjoy it. So for those who don't enjoy it but doing it, as long as it's working, you should hopefully good to go. I've asked my clients many times over the years, and when I had in-person clients, it's just like, so I know you don't like it, but you feel better, right? And it's like, yeah, so this is the last story I'll tell for this video. I think I've told it a few times recently. So there was a client I had years ago, and I don't think she, shoot, I don't think she was one of the people that liked working out. Just did it because there was a goal in mind, and working out was part of it to achieve what she wanted to achieve. And she came up to me one night for her evening for her session, and she's like, "Guess what? I don't like when women say 'guess what' to me, because that can go anywhere." So that can go anywhere in terms of what they're trying to tell me, instead of just telling me. And she goes, "I was with girlfriends, and I think she had 4 or 5 girlfriends from school or whatever." And she goes, "I was with girlfriends. It was in the wintertime, I believe." And she goes, "The car got stuck in a ditch. Guess who had to push the car?" I was like, "There's five ladies, and you pushed the car?" And she goes, "Yeah, I mean, they tried, but they were falling, and some of them just didn't want to do it, and falling and weren't strong enough. So, I just got down and pushed the car myself out of the ditch, and we were actually able to do what we need to do." And not only for her to tell me that, the excitement and appreciation she had about her being able to do it. So as much as a trainer, people come to us wanting to achieve certain things, especially ladies, hire us want to achieve certain things, but then we try to be kind of sneaky because, it's great to want great abs and a big ass or a shaped ass or nice legs and nice arms and certain things that people hire us for. But not only to help you get what you came to us for, but to help you achieve other things as well, for just in case there's some kind of emergency of you needing to push a car, needing to lift certain things or certain people, needing to do certain things quickly. So there's so much to accomplish, and for some reason people are focused more on stuff that is mostly selfish. And I don't know if people should be faulted for that, but hopefully when it comes to being selfish and doing some of this stuff that people are doing, if there's an emergency, hopefully there's somebody else available like me and some others. I'm tempted to tell you another story, but I've told it in other videos over the years, so I'm going to try not to say it this time. But you have no idea. So hopefully to look as good as you want to look, to perform as good as you want to perform with whatever it is that you're into. But then if there comes an emergency to where somebody is about to fall and you catch them, which I've actually done a few times over the last 30 years, to where people are about to fall and I managed to catch them, even when I wasn't paying. Actually, shit, I think all 3 times that, I think the 3 times that has happened that I can remember, I think there might be 4 times to where people were about to fall, and even though I wasn't necessarily paying attention, I was aware of the person being around, but I'm not like, watching the person. So while doing other stuff, the first time I was walking home, and I was supposed to be home already because it was dark, and for those of us that are black know that once the street lights come on, you're supposed to be home. I wasn't. So I'm trying to rush home. This person was falling. I was trying to avoid them because it was a stranger. But the closer I got, as weird as it sounds when people say it, but it was like I heard a voice that told me like 3 times, like, put your arms out, put your arms out, put your arms out. Not that fast, but so as I'm walking, I just managed to do like this, and this person fell. I saw the person, but I was trying to avoid the person. This person fell. I caught him, put him up there, and then I was just gonna keep going, which I've done the other 3 times that it happened. So caught this person, put them up on the steps that they were on, and was going to keep going. But then a person, I believe it was an older female, said thank you. And I can't remember what else she said other than thank you. But then as I was going home, I was shocked that I was able to do that. And I was like, well, one, I'm shocked that I was able to do that. Two, what if that person was heavier? Because that person seemed like they were very light. I think I was like 140 something pounds at 11 years old at the time. So I was like, what if this person was heavier? So that changed the way I did my workouts for the rest of my life, even at going on 40. Then there was 3 other times. The 2 times I was at work and people were doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing, working at FedEx. The one time, a young lady, she shouldn't have been in a truck with us anyway, not because she's female, but she was supposed to be doing something else. But she was in a truck, and I just had a feeling something was going to happen with her. And so I'm doing, I'm unloading the trucks. It wasn't my truck. I was helping somebody else unload their truck so we can get done faster. And this young lady was up there. She wasn't up there to help. I mean, kind of she was, but I think she was up there just to talk to the person that was in the truck, whoever's truck I was in. And to a certain degree, it's my fault for doing what I was doing, but I was trying to help, and I was actually supposed to be in there. She wasn't. So I'm doing what I'm doing. For those who know, when we unload FedEx trucks, at least in the trucks I was in Rochester, New York, there's 2 levels to the truck depending on what truck you're in. So there's a certain part of the truck with a bunch, thousands of packages up top, if not hundreds, and then there's a lower part to the truck. So I was down there, and I'm unloading, and something told me this female, something was going to happen with her. Plus I told her like, hey, I'm down here, watch your step, especially saying I'm actually trying to go like we're supposed to, go as fast as you can when you're at FedEx. Probably UPS too, and UPS, Amazon, whatever, but trying to get this stuff out. And so again, to a certain degree, it's my fault, but I actually told her like, hey, watch your step. So I just had a feeling she was gonna do something stupid, and she did. So as I'm going, I'm not watching her, well, specifically not watching her, but I can see her as I'm doing this stuff, and I can still kind of see her. She stepped back because I'm down at the lower level of the truck. She stepped back. The barrier that's supposed to be there, I opened it so that I can do what I'm doing down there. Might not make sense to you if you haven't worked at FedEx before, but while I'm down there unloading, she stepped back. That barrier that was there for her to step on isn't there anymore. So when she went to step back and that door wasn't there anymore because I opened it. Luckily for her, I was paying attention, because if she would have dropped, she might be paralyzed or dead. So she was about to fall. I caught her. Actually, I think I caught her with both hands compared to her guy that she was attracted to. I caught him too. So when I caught him, pressed him back up, and just kept doing what I was doing. With her, I'm unloading. She fell. I caught her, and without hesitation just put her back up there and just kept doing what I was doing. She got out of the truck. She wasn't supposed to be in there to begin with. And she just got out of the truck. And then when she saw me, I think that might have been a Friday, because when I came back the following Monday, I didn't really care about the young lady. I know she wasn't supposed to be around trucks anyway, especially in the trucks. And whenever she saw me for at least a week, she probably would have kept doing it, but I ignored her when she did it. But she goes, good morning, lifesaver. because for those who know about how we work at FedEx, Amazon, and certain places, we have to be to work at 3:45 a.m. if not earlier. So she, would come by, good morning, Lifesaver, and she did that for a couple of days. And the first time I was like, Lifesaver, and I had to think about it because I'm busy unloading the trucks, and here she comes bothering the people who are unloading. I'm like, Lifesaver. And I'm like, oh yeah, like oh yeah. So it's not just about. I mean, if it is for certain people, go for it, I guess. But it should be about more than just you lifting these heavy ass dumbbells, depending on what's considered heavy to you. If you can save somebody from falling, or if there's somebody who already fell, and depending on how big and heavy they might be, to be able to help them up. Um, a vehicle gets stuck in the snow, stuck in a ditch. Somebody needs help going up the stairs. There's so many different things. I'm not gonna tell this story, but my dad had a dream about. He has 5 kids that we know about, and at the time he was married to my mother. And my dad supposedly had a dream about the house being on fire, and he said he was able to save everybody that was in the house except for one. And I was like, well, who's the one you didn't save? Might be somewhat of a dumb question, but I believe anybody that heard that story would be curious, like, who didn't you save? Especially at 10 or 11 years old. And he said, I don't remember. I felt he was lying because I'm thinking, okay, I died and he didn't want me to know. But at the same time, as a dad, he wasn't a good dad. But in that occasion, to say I don't remember, because then it's just like if he would have told me who died in the dream, it was like I probably would have called that sibling and like, hey, Dad had a dream and said you died in it. So, so I kind of still did that, but I didn't say, hey, Dad had this dream and I died, you died, but it was like Dad had a dream and somebody died. So for me, that changed. That was the second thing that happened that changed the way I do my workouts, trying to make sure I have equal strength and equal balance in both arms, both legs, being as strong as I can be, that my body can handle without drugs. So again, if I was selfish, that wouldn't have mattered. Um, Even though to a certain degree you can still say it's kind of selfish because it's trying to make sure I'm strong enough and fast enough to help myself. But I was also still, whenever I did workouts, even back in the 90s when I didn't know what the hell I was doing yet, um, even though trying to make sure I'm really strong, really fast, it was always, okay, well, what if I have to save my mother from the burning house or her falling? What if I have to save my brother, the one brother that I lived with? If I have to save him, he was little and light anyway, so that wasn't a big deal. So it's like, all right, if I have to grab my mom and my brother, do I have the strength and the speed to get them out the house if they're both asleep, and the house is on fire and I save them? If somebody has that extreme of stuff, and then whatever the other emergency, a car falls in the ditch, whether it's raining, snowing, and the car ends up in a pothole, ditch, or whatever, and you might actually be strong enough to either take people out or lift the vehicle, and there's certain things that can happen, and hopefully it's unlikely, but for just in case, just to make sure you have the strength, the speed, and the mental, physical, and emotional strength, speed, and endurance to actually do stuff. And that's the interesting thing about practice, to where you keep doing that stuff. I'm going on decades, so I'm at decades, going on 3 decades. So to do this stuff with a certain intent in mind, but then all of a sudden some other stuff happens, and being a blessing to someone else, whether you want it to or not, because there's multiple times I didn't necessarily want to, I just did it. And luckily for those people, because had they have fallen, the injuries that these people might have, the fact that two of the people that fell when I was at, almost fell when I, or did fall, but I caught them while at FedEx, they might be paralyzed or dead falling on that hard ass floor in that truck. So those trucks. So not only to help yourself, and if you're selfish, do what you do. But for those of us who aren't against helping certain people, depending on the occasion, and able to, and likely to do it if there's a need, whether we want to or not. Doing this stuff and being the best that you can, and then if you're just happen to be able to be a blessing to someone else who fell, about to fall, in certain things. Good for you. God bless you. And man, the appreciation you'll have from the person. Who knows what that might turn into. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Sorry for talking so much, but again, this stuff means a lot to me in terms of taking care of my body as best as I can, and if certain things happen, which they have, in terms of me being able to help certain people from falling or dying, or being paralyzed or dying, which I have multiple times over the last 20 years. Actually, the last 30 years, almost 29 years. So again, it's not just about you. If you're selfish, do what you do. But for those of us that aren't selfish, do this stuff to be the best you can. And then that'll also help others. Hope you enjoyed the video. This is Martone, owner and trainer of Fuller Fitness. Take care.